you were raised not to have sex, not to engage in it until you're married. So your brain was, formulated and encouraged, avoid sex, remove it from the brain. Don't even think about sex. And then when you're like in your 20s, like, when are you going to get married and have sex? And then you're supposed to like switch it on and off. But
it's like lights. Let's turn it on.
It doesn't work that way because nobody tells us how to have sex. What is sex? Like, what do you mean sex? Like, where a man and a woman just start kissing on each other? There's a lot to sex.
But African parents consider kissing on each other sex, though.
No, sex is more than that. And remember, sex is supposed to be enjoyable and pleasurable for both parties.
Thank you. That's the key word. Hey y'all. Welcome back to Relate with Vanjudah. I am your one and only Nzima Queen, the one you've been dreaming about. Listen, I'll give you a few seconds. I need you to subscribe. The little subscribe red button right there, subscribe. And you see the little bell next to it? Hit on it. I'll give you 2 seconds. 1, 2. Thank you. I know some of you didn't subscribe. Yep, go back and subscribe. Yep, your ticket to heaven is dependent on him. I have connections with Jesus, I promise. You'll be right next to him. I got you. You'll make it to heaven. So I'll give you a few seconds too. I know you did. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for supporting Relate with Vanjudah. I truly appreciate. Don't forget to leave a comment, like, and share. I love you and thank you. With that said, today is about to get hot in here. Listen, I'm already hot. I chose the wrong day to wear long sleeves, okay? I'm already hot because we're about to talk about sex. Put it down. Okay, I'll behave. So today I have the queen herself, OB and beyond, Miss Lisa. She is a women's health nurse practitioner. How are you, Miss OB and beyond?
Oh, I am fabulous. I'm excited to be here today. Thanks for having me on your show.
Thank you for coming. Thank you. So today we're about to talk about how to put it down. It's not a children's show, so please
put the kids to bed.
Put them to bed, okay? And get a glass of wine and let's talk, okay? Yes. So sex, the thing we are all doing, but we're all afraid to talk about.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to come for anybody, but the Christian community.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, we're doing it, but please don't say it that you're doing it. We don't want to know.
Yeah.
And for a long time, I had a problem with it. Reason being is, there were certain things that I did want to experience that I knew like when, girlfriends are talking that you're comfortable, we say, I'm squirting, I'm this. And I'm sitting there like,
what are those terms?
Like, what am I missing? That even mean? You're like, what did I do wrong?
Yeah.
Did I not bend properly?
Yeah.
Did I not,
What position were you in when you squirted?
And I have tried it. I've actually done that. Somebody gave me a position, right? It will make you, and I tried it. It didn't work out. It took me longer. So today we're about to talk all about it, okay? I know you see things on the table. Don't worry, we'll get into it. But Miss Lisa.
Yes.
Please, sex.
Yeah, sex. I mean, like you said, you were raised not to have sex, not to engage in it until you're married. So your brain was, formulated and encouraged, avoid sex, remove it from the brain. Don't even think about sex. Then when you're like in your 20s, like, when are you going to get married and have sex? And then you're supposed to like switch it on and off. But
it's like lights. Let's turn it on.
It doesn't work that way because nobody tells us how to have sex. What is sex? Like, what do you mean sex? Like, where a man and a woman just start kissing on each other? There's a lot to sex.
But African parents consider kissing on each other sex,
No, sex is more than that. And remember, sex is supposed to be enjoyable and pleasurable for both parties.
Thank you. That's the key word. Both.
When people say like, well, how long should sex last? Well, that depends on you. Like, if I want a quickie, like if me and my partner, like, we got like 5 minutes, let's go. That's good enough for me.
But what is the average though, if you want us to talk about that?
Well, think about it. Like, a man average, he's going to climax and ejaculate within 5 to like 8 minutes on average. Some quicker than that.
Wait,
Some
hold on.
Longer, right?
5?
But it's all a control. It's a mental thing. But yeah, 5 minutes.
Short.
It is short, but on average.
Okay.
Now, a woman?
Because it takes me a little longer than 5 minutes.
No less than like 15 minutes.
20 minutes.
That's on average for a woman. So imagine you as a woman, if we were to poll women, like, how many of you actually like have ejaculation, or, you know, you ejaculate or you orgasm when you're having sex with your partner? I think some of us, myself, never even
experienced it.
Well, because if the man is averaging 5 minutes and it takes me like 15 minutes, I'm gonna need you to like get going, whatever you got to do, and come back.
But not all men want to go and come back. It's like the one is enough.
Not all men can get back. Not all penises can erect back for the second round.
She said what she said.
I said what I said.
Really?
But like, you know.
Okay, Before, I want to ask a question, but before that, since we're talking about penises not erecting, right after the first one, right? How long does it take the average, like after your first round, the guys, after the first round, like how long does it take? How long do you have to give them as a woman before they can come back? Because I've heard 15 minutes. Somebody told me recently, it takes 15 minutes for them to come back.
Oh, that depends. That is individualized. Because remember, it requires the amount of blood flow. Now, if your partner is somebody who engages in smoking and drinking, or they're overweight, they may not erect as quickly as you would like. 15 minutes is a long time to be just sitting there waiting.
Like waiting. What if you're trying, you're touching, you are doing everything just to get them to come back?
It can take a while. So this is why it's important for communication, right? Like if my partner and I are having sex, or I'm partnered with somebody, we're going to communicate. What are your expectations for sex? What are my expectations? What kind of positions do you like? They need to please me too, and I need to be comfortable. But knowing that it takes me 15 minutes to achieve my climax or orgasm, and you can do that in like 5 minutes, why don't we prioritize me first?
Foreplay.
Some foreplay, kissing, oral sex. Why don't you get down and rather stimulate? Then we will penetrate.
Hey, babe. Okay. I didn't say
that. I just think, like, why don't you work on stimulating? You know, like I said, some people really enjoy their nipples being touched. Some of us can have orgasms from just nipple stimulation. Sucking, tugging.
Since you want to talk about orgasm, what is an orgasm? Because for me, right, before, I didn't know what like the experience with orgasm was. Oh, yeah. Right? I just knew, okay, I had sex. I felt, some down there, liquid down there, or wetter than normal down there, right? I felt like my body did something. I feel like an outer body experience. So I kept asking, because I was asking a girlfriend of mine. Okay, she thinks she's the sex expert in my life.
Oh, I love it.
But I was asking her, she was like, orgasm is like an outer body experience.
Yeah, that release.
Yeah, it's like a release, like that a gush.
Climax.
Yeah, she'll be like, it's a gush. If you don't experience the gush, you have to. And I'm like, okay. But other women don't know. I know somebody married that I don't think she's experienced orgasm, because we always talk about it.
Ever?
She doesn't know.
If she has.
So what is orgasm? If you can explain that.
So like orgasm, right? Orgasm is when the body climaxes. It becomes excited. It reaches like this excited point where it releases. Some people kind of shiver. Some people shake. Some people scream.
Your legs
are more verbal. Your legs. Some people are numb. But it's this body experience that climaxes to this very excited point in your body. So it's definitely, like I said, sex is not just physical. It's also emotional and mental.
But how will a person know this orgasm, though?
Well,
because before I used to ask, did I orgasm? Did I come? Did I not come?
Yeah. Okay, so coming, right? Like, having, like, for a man to have an orgasm, I think it's related to more of that. They feel that experience, they release, they ejaculate, they're good. But a woman, she's going to continuously ejaculate and come throughout the sexual experience.
Wait, hold on.
It's not the same. Because there's that. You can't have sex and enjoy it and continue if the vagina is dry.
Okay, that's true.
That moisture, that vaginal discharge, that's
considered an orgasm?
No, but that's all part of the orgasmic experience. But it's all part. So what people think when you said, your friend said, oh, she had an orgasm because she gushed.
Yeah, because she was like, it has to feel like pee shooting out of your vagina.
See, that's two different things.
I never experienced it at that time.
You're talking about squirting.
Like, how do I also come like that? I want to gush.
Yeah, so you're talking about squirting. So that's like completely different. This is what's so confusing. There's so many different ways to experience sex, orgasm, pleasure, and then squirt.
I'm looking at you funny because I thought squirting is an orgasm too, right?
Oh, it definitely is.
Okay.
But you don't have to squirt to have an orgasm. You can have an orgasm without squirting. Not every woman squirts. So like squirting is basically, it's diluted urine. Really diluted though. Like really diluted.
Hold on.
Okay? No, for real. Listen.
It's
like
urine?
when
Okay.
you are involved and you are in the middle of intercourse and you are really getting ready to climax and achieve that orgasm, you almost feel like you're about to pee on yourself because your urethra, where you pee from, starts to swell up as well because your clitoris is being stimulated real nicely. So then that release happens because the urine kind of just like releases because of the swelling of the urethra.
I'm about to
But
do a
not
little TMI.
and I almost feel like not all women will squirt on the first orgasm. It's usually multiple because by then you have stimulated the clitoris for like minutes. It's been ongoing, right? And so things are really swollen. Because remember, when you are when you're engaged in sex, it requires blood flow for both him and you. His penis got to stay erect. That's going to require a lot of blood flow. But our vulva also starts to swell. So the more your urethra swells around, it's going to release that squirt.
Okay, no, it's good. This is about to get a little TMI. Hold on. This is TMI. Hold on. I'm about to share my own personal experience, okay? Oh, Jesus. I can't. TMI. Okay, so squirting, right? Like I said, when my friend was telling me about squirting, she was like, every woman experiences, but you just said they don't, right?
No.
And she was, oh, Jesus. You just said it's like when you're about to pee, okay?
Yeah.
When you're about to pee, squirting. So she was like, when you're having sex, right? Force yourself. You know how sometimes you have to force yourself to pee? So while you're having sex,
just start
keep forcing yourself that you want to pee and you will squirt. So why did I catch myself for a long time? During sex, right? My focus will not be on the sex.
It would just to be.
It will be on like I need to force myself to pee.
Oh my
so
God.
I'm sitting on the bed like
trying to pee.
I'm like I'm trying to enjoy the moment.
Sure, but she was focused on this.
But I'm focused because I need to experience this.
I love
and
that.
I was forcing myself. And sometimes I found myself, my stomach was hurting.
Now let me ask you something. Did you eventually pee?
After.
Not in the process. Because here's what's gonna happen. Had you did one time.
One time.
Did it smell like pee?
I didn't smell it. Because this is TMI.
Because you can't actually pee and squirt. Because the other one is mixed with other fluids.
No, this is not something I was forcing. I was on a mission.
You were on that.
This is years ago. I was on a mission because I was like, I want to experience this.
I'm telling you, have a couple orgasms. But it requires communication to your partner. Like
it was good. He was great. He was taking care of my body. But it's like all the other women were like, they've squirted. You
gotta do it. And that's one thing. We don't even have to compare ourselves because not everybody's body is the same. So how we have sex is not the same as how someone else has sex. And how we experience orgasm or pleasure is not the same.
Because not one size fit all.
Some people get pleasure from their earlobes being stroked and touched or their feet being rubbed. I think when you're with your partner, it is important that you guys explore each other's bodies. If this is somebody you trust, you know, whether you love them or you don't love, or
what
they're
if you
just
don't? One time.
I mean, if you don't love them and this is a one night stand, or you know, you're like your little sex buddy, that's up to you. Just make sure you guys have done your sexually transmitted infection test, so there is no exchange of infections going on and.
Because if I don't like the person, I can't have sex with you.
Okay.
I have to be in a relationship. Yeah. Like, that's me. That's mentally. Yeah. I'm like, because I know people with cuddy buddies or one time, and I'm like, I can't do that. Yeah. I have to, like, kind of have a relationship, a commitment
that's that
with
emotional,
you. Yeah.
mental.
For me, it has to be a commitment. Like, we're dating. Oh, this is my boyfriend. Then I'll have sex. Until then, hey, I won't do it. But since we're talking about orgasms. Yeah. I really feel like I'm personal on this episode. So if my mother is watching, please stop watching.
No, Mom, we want you to watch. You know why? Because mommies and aunties, we want to teach you how to have an orgasm too.
I want to stop my mom from watching this part because she is sitting there like, I did not raise her like that.
But they want to know too because these are probably questions You know, my aunties have asked me, like, what is this stuff? Like, and I'm like, oh, so you want to know.
Hey, your aunties are lit. My aunties are like... I
want them to be lit. Do you know that we become more sexual as women as we age? We think about more sex when we get older. Yes.
How?
You know when you're younger and you're in your teens and your 20s and just laying there and enjoying sex? No, we take control in our 30s and 40s and 50s. Okay?
30s is coming, honey.
We take
control.
Ready. We start to... Yeah, so aunties, mom, watch this.
Nah, my mom, listen, don't do that. Because where I'm about to jump to, my mom like, she's not, I can see all my aunties like, she's not married. People, we're still doing it. Y'all did it. Stop it. But TMI, we're about to talk. Okay.
We're not encouraging people to have premarital sex. We're teaching you about sex.
I'm encouraging.
So when you do, when you do engage in sex, you know how to have sex.
She cannot encourage. I'm encouraging it. Put it down.
I'm just saying, if you need to have sex, learn how to have sex. Enjoy sex. Make it pleasurable. Don't just lay there and think that your partner is being pleased.
That's what they're focusing on. So since we want to be pleased and orgasms, we're going to talk about sex toys.
Oh, yes. Okay? Ooh, yes.
She has a lot. Dang, man. So she can't
this is my vulva. Okay, so quick anatomy lesson for those of you. Yeah. So those of you who...
I know it's almost like that.
You can touch it. Yes.
It feels real.
Yes, it does. So this vulva... quick anatomy lesson. These are your labia.
The what?
Your labia. Okay. So this is your vulva. You know when you were growing up, people told you to like wash your vagina and clean your vagina. This is not your vagina. This is your vulva, which includes your vagina. So when I ask you to please stop washing inside your vagina, there's a reason.
Yeah.
This is your vulva. Right. Exactly. So this is your labia, your lips. Okay. You got large ones. You got little ones. Everybody's anatomy is different. Some people's are larger. Some people's are smaller.
I was going to ask you.
Some people's aren't even the same size.
Like, because mine, it don't look like
match.
That. Yeah.
Everybody's vulva. Some people's vulva hang. Mm-hmm. Some people's are less prominent. Just depends. Okay. But you have your clitoral hood, and then you have your clitoris. That is the spot.
Hold on. Let's go back.
All
There's the clitoral
hood.
So
you've got the clitoral hood here.
Okay.
So it covers. You got to have a hood to protect that. Okay. But remember, the clitoris, the majority of the clitoral body is inside of our body. It's not external.
Okay.
Like a man's penis is just out.
Mm-hmm.
You can see your penis.
Ours is hidden.
Ours is hidden.
Okay.
It's a hidden gem.
Mm-hmm.
Ours also has 8,000 nerve ending. 8,000. That's not equivalent to 8,000 orgasms.
I know
that
God
just means you have more sensation in your clitoris than a penis does. So the fact that he's climaxing in 5 minutes, you can too. You just have to have the right stimulation.
You have to have, okay.
So you have your clitoris, and then you have your urethra where you pee from or where you squirt from. So when I tell you, because this area, your clitoris is being stimulated so much, and it starts to engorge, really swell up during intercourse, that's the reason why people are squirting from their urethra. That pressure causes that release.
Okay.
Then you have your vagina. That's where you have sex, penetrative sex, fingering, you menstruate from, put tampons in. This is your vagina.
I'm going to ask on behalf of all the other women that we don't know. Wait, hold on. You squirt from...
your urethra.
Not your vagina.
No.
On behalf of all women that didn't know.
On behalf of all women that don't know, you have 3 holes to remember. And guys, pay attention too, because some of y'all don't know this either. We have a urethra hole that we pee from.
I knew that one.
We have a vagina that we menstruate, bleed, or have intercourse through or whatever. And then you have your anus where you defecate from.
Yes.
Make sure you clean that daily, especially those who want to engage in that kind of sex.
Anal, yeah, not me. It's okay. Not my then.
All right.
Not my then. Before I let you continue with that, I want to ask, okay, looking at this right here, right?
Yeah.
I have heard different, let's say if this side, like the lips is larger and maybe a little flappy, it means the woman is having a lot of sex.
No.
If it's tight like this, it means the woman is having less sex.
Oh my God. First of all,
that's what most men judge.
It's not true. We're born how we're born.
Most men do just do that.
Everybody's lips look different. Everybody's labia looks different. What is concerning though is if you do have larger lips that tend to be, like you said, flappy, you just want to be careful they don't get they don't get stuck when you're having intercourse, because that can pinch off, right?
Okay.
But yeah, no, our lips are all different.
I really want to ask, since you are
we
here.
We cannot tell by your vulva if you are having a lot of sex or not? We cannot. I can't even tell if you're a virgin.
Have you ever heard that before?
I've heard people say that. Like, you can tell if they're a virgin by looking inside their vagina. How?
I've heard that before. Oh,
I cannot. As an OBGYN nurse practitioner, I cannot tell if you are a virgin, if you're having too much sex or not enough sex. Now, what I can tell is if your vagina has some issues with tightening, prolapse as far as the muscle tone. I can tell that, or if it's, not having enough lubrication.
I don't want to divert from what we are talking about, right? But you made a statement, right? A very profound statement that you can't tell if the person's a virgin. Because I don't know what some parents will have their daughters like, go open your legs and lay there. They'll look, oh, she's not a virgin.
Super terrible. Okay. We should stop doing that.
Let's get back on.
We're not even gonna get into
that's
that.
That's a whole different topic.
Stop doing that, please.
That's a whole different. But okay, since we're talking about sex, okay, and I said TMI, I'm about to talk about myself, okay? Not too much about myself, okay? But when it comes to orgasms, okay, let's go back to when it comes to orgasms. Yeah, I orgasm both ways, but majority of the time.
What do you mean both ways?
Like vaginal intercourse.
So penetrating,
but then majority of the time with the clit.
Stimulating. So when you say you orgasm by penetrative sex with the penis, it's also your clit. The clitoral body, it kind of, and I wish I had an example of what the clitoris looks like, but the clitoris body comes down. So when you are using the penis to enter the vagina to penetrate, it's hidden the back of the body of the clitoris. That's why you're orgasming.
Can every penis reach the back of that?
Well, in different positions we can. We can. Smaller penises, but the average penis is 5 inches erect, and most of us can.
Can you give people 5 inches real quick? Because when she said 5 inches behind the scene, my mind was on something else.
Oh, but okay, look at this, right?
How big is
this? So this is about 5 inches here. This from here to here is about 5 inches. This is a pretty decent sized penis erect.
Wait, so from there,
but probably here is that whole 9 to 10 inch penis.
That's too.
This is long.
Yeah.
This penis is going to require a lot of blood flow, and it may not enter the vagina completely because our vaginal canals are also different in sizes. Some are shorter, some are longer.
So you mean from here to here is 5 inches?
Yeah.
Well, I think that's average. I think that's normal. I don't mind that.
Exactly.
Just add one more, 6 inches.
6 inches are we good?
For me. I'm
All
just
right.
saying.
Yeah, we can do 6 inches.
Okay. So since you brought the sex toy back out, just keep it right here.
Oh, okay.
Okay, keep it right here. So since I was talking to you about I orgasm better through my clit. And you said it's both ways. But for me, I think maybe because my mind is on the clit, so I feel like that's why I orgasm better.
Because the majority of the body of the clitoris is inside. So like you said, not all penises can even reach the back of the vaginal canal to stimulate the clitoris where it hangs, right? But you can see some of that body on the outside underneath the clitoral hood. So this is why I say, as you're talking to your partner, babe, I wanna orgasm before you too. I want you to focus down there. So do oral sex, stimulate it with their fingers, their tongue, whatever it is. People see when you say oral sex, you mean what? Eat the vagina? Yeah, you can do that, but that's not where the clitoris is. So that's what's also confusing. As a child, as a teenager, as a woman, your focus is here. It takes more effort to reach the clitoris. You could just lift up this hood, and it's right there. It's right there, ready for some stimulation.
Okay. For me, back to me again. I'm telling you, my mom is praying right now. Back to me again. I orgasm naturally with my man. He is amazing. He puts it down.
Okay, shout out.
He puts it down.
I love it.
But I have experience with sex toys.
Oh, yeah.
And I realized that the orgasm is different.
It's a lot stronger.
It's
intense.
Big time.
It's outer body. It's a release.
That's the outer body.
It's the vibration.
Can you have both? Can you experience that type of orgasm with a physical person?
Oh, yeah.
Because I think personally that a sex toy is stronger than.
It is. And that's why it can be addictive. But yeah, a sex toy is certainly going to be a stronger vibration because, they got different vibration settings. So that's gonna, especially depending on the sex toy. Like, so this sex toy here.
Because I was going to ask you to explain different types of sex toys.
There's so many. And this is just a couple here. But I would suggest to every female that if you are really, really struggling to have orgasms and you want to achieve one on your own or with your partner with a sex toy, I suggest buying a clitoral stimulator. Specific. Okay. A lot of us will go and buy dildos, you know, which are the shape of a penis, or we'll buy...
So this is not a dildo.
This is not a dildo. This is a different kind of sex toy, and we'll turn that on. And this will move, but then it also stimulates here. But this isn't going to suck the clitoris. It's just going to stimulate it. So this is why I'm saying for those of us...
What's the difference?
Oh, well, that's suction.
That's the rose.
That's the rose.
Okay. Sorry.
That's the rose, or anything. You type in clitoral stimulator on Amazon, or go to your nearest sex shop and get something that sucks the clitoris. And that's why I'm saying a man can do that. Your partner can do that. A female can do that. We can suck the clitoris real well. It just depends on the suction pressure you use with your mouth. Yeah. So this is gonna penetrate.
I need one of this.
You need one of these.
Sorry, Mom.
At the same time.
Hold a minute. I need one of this.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
what is this supposed to do? I'm looking confused.
That is actually completely different. So this is more for females that have like more of a prolapse vagina, like they've had a couple of children and they want to kind of like strengthen. So I always suggest
this is a Kegel.
Yeah, it's like a Vanjudah ball.
Okay,
it's like a weight for your vagina. So you put it in, and then I go vacuum. The longer it stays in, the stronger. But usually with these, I encourage people to always go to pelvic floor therapy and get assessed to see the strength of your vagina first and determine like how much we need to get and what grade you're at.
Wait, hold on.
But people do purchase these.
Go back to talking about the sex toys, but you caught me off guard with that. Hold on. Does this, because I've heard people say doing Kegels makes your vagina tighter.
Oh, yeah. Well, that is going to support your entire pelvic floor.
Let them explain it better.
Pelvic floor. Mm-hmm. It's all related. So it's not necessarily like specific to your vagina, but your entire pelvic floor is going to tighten. Okay. But doing a Kegel is like, you know, taking a deep breath in, and then when you blow it out, when you exhale, that's when you tighten your pelvic floor.
Okay, I'm going to come back to that. But I'm going to come back to it because I want to ask you another question about the vaginal tightening. But I'll come back to that. But since we're on sex toys, right? Can you get addicted to sex toys? Because I've heard people prefer sex toys over a person. I've heard women these days like, if I can get a better orgasm with a toy, what do I need a man for? You know,
but you don't have that emotional, mental relationship with a sex toy necessarily with your partner. You may, and sex, I don't want people to think, oh, I'm not having sex and I'm not orgasm. You don't have to orgasm if you're having sex. It can just be that intimate experience with your partner. Mm-hmm. Now, it's great if you orgasm and you enjoy that pleasure and your body is able to get to that excited climax, but you shouldn't focus on just that. You should enjoy the sexual experience mentally and physically. Okay. So when people say, oh, I prefer a sex toy, yeah, that's because the suction, the vibration. Mm-hmm. But your partner can also give that same vibration and stimulation. Like if you focus on the clitoris, you can do that with a penis. Mm-hmm. So depending on you can actually stimulate the front of the clitoris with a penis.
But then most men just do it for a few seconds and then they're done.
No, I'm not talking about like doing this.
Yeah.
It's during penetration. You see how this toy here, it penetrates inside the vagina, but it stimulates on the outside. Some penises, like think about their pelvic floor too. It can also stimulate the clitoris during that intercourse experience. Depends on the position you're in. There's a lot of positions. Now, it's not going to be what we call doggy style. That's not going to stimulate my clitoris.
Yeah, because doggy style.
That's going to make you come faster, I'm sure, but because most men love that. Mm-hmm. But that's not going to give me the pleasure.
Since we want to talk about pleasure, I've heard women say they get to a quicker orgasm or whatever. They get their orgasm when they ride.
Oh, yeah.
I've heard a lot of that. But then I know it's rubbing.
It's rubbing, it's stimulating everything, and you have control.
But some women still don't orgasm when they're riding. I think for me, I overthink it before. Yeah. Before. Yeah. Before I used to overthink writing. I used to overthink writing in a way of I was more focused on how my body looked.
Oh yeah, me too. I'm like, is my belly like, am I being folded? Like, I'm worried about my belly, and I'm like, let me turn around, and I'm worried about my back fat,
and I'm like, am I tired? Like that was me.
Oh, I know.
So I never enjoyed. Like I don't like for a long time. My current partner is the only person I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get out there. But in my previous relationship, I'm like, I don't write
because
I let them know ahead of time.
You weren't comfortable and confident in those relationships.
I was comfortable with my body outside of writing,
not the relationships, because you should be comfortable being naked where you can put, twist me like a pretzel, put me back, do this, and I'm still comfortable.
I think my current relationship, he's giving me that opportunity.
Confidence.
Like,
I love that.
It doesn't matter. He used to tell me, he's like, I saw you before I came and asked you out, didn't I? I saw the belly. Didn't I see it?
I know, but I still always ask, are you sure?
Do I look okay? I'm like, are you enjoying it? Because then I'll be like, no. Are you fine?
And then I also feel
am I breaking you?
And I feel like I got to get my body fit to even ride, because after 2 minutes, I'm like, okay, I'm tired, but this feels good. But that's why I'm going to go to the gym, so I can ride more than 5 minutes.
That's me, because lately sometimes I'll be home and I'll like, let me squat. So I'll just squat and I'll stay there for like 5 seconds.
But there's different kinds of ride. You can ride where your legs are up, like squatted.
I prefer.
Or you can be on your knees, but I prefer.
One leg laying down, the other leg just.
Oh, yeah, and all of that is being stimulated. All of that.
But I just really wanted to ask, because I know women who think, because for me, I used to, okay, let me ride so I can also reach climax. Yeah. And I tried it and I was like, it's not working out for me. It's not. Like I said, my focus was more on my body and what I was doing. Yeah.
Because your mind wasn't there. And that's what also happens. Not just like, oh, what do I look like? Is he looking up? Like, did you see my double chin? But it could be like, oh, I got to do the laundry. I got to take these kids. I got to put them to bed. Oh, the baby just woke up. Our mind messes with us when this is why we struggle for orgasms, because our mind isn't always on sex. It's not just physical. It has to do with the mental. I can't be thinking about the laundry that I definitely am not going to fold for 10 days that I just did, or the food that I left out and I got to put in the fridge, or the kids schooling tomorrow or stuff. I got to focus on me and my partner. That's your work you got to do. When you're ready to have sex, you just want to focus on that body.
How? Because for me, I'm planning a show in my
you
next
do
episode
that.
in
you
my
can't
head.
Do that. If you're going to ride, you're going to focus on what you're riding. We can be thinking about other things.
It takes a lot.
It does.
And I think, I think you said something earlier when we started. Focusing on the moment, right?
Oh, yeah.
The moment. A lot of times, yes, you try to focus on the moment, but like you're trying to also force yourself to orgasm. Like me, even though sometimes I will turn off like work and other things I want to do, because I'm like, okay, 10 minutes. When are we going to be done? Because I have to go do that. That's just me.
We're timing it.
What timing the whole thing? But then also, how do you stop focusing on I need to orgasm? That's
you
me.
You really just gotta tune everything out and just focus on you and your partner's experience. But you gotta be clear-minded. That's the other thing. Like the influence of alcohol or tobacco or marijuana, that can also affect your orgasm experience. Because I know, if you're drinking, your mental is altered. Okay. So that's why we always say, if you really want to have good sex, some people say, oh, I only have good sex when I'm drunk or I'm drinking. You think it's good.
It's good.
But it is. But that's what you think.
Because when you're drunk.
Because you're just doing all kinds of stuff.
And you kind of get out of your comfort zone, right?
Okay.
It helps you shush it up.
So can you be sober and get out of your comfort zone?
I could.
With the right partner, you can.
With the right partner, yes, you are right. But then recently, because I called myself Thanksgiving weekend, honey. I called myself trying to do stuff that I would normally not try or not do because I was drunk.
Exploring.
So like I said, but I want us to go back. I want us to go back to the sex toys. Oh, While you explaining can you explain different types of sex toys? Because I see 3 over here and I'm
so this one is the penis ring. Ooh, yeah. So you want to bring sex toys to the bedroom, to the kitchen, wherever with your partner, and you're like, he might feel intimidated if you bring this because maybe this isn't even the size of his penis, or the girth is smaller, the girth is larger, whatever it is, right? So you may not want to start with this, but you might want to do something that we both mutually can really enjoy. So I suggest, okay, babe, let's try the penis ring. Well, what is that? Well, let me go get it.
Let's take notes, guys. Let's take notes because I'm about to write mine down.
So for the sake of teaching purposes, we'll use this sex toy as our penis. This penis ring, and I told you, the point is to stimulate the clitoris. Okay. So if I put the penis ring on and I turn it on to vibrate, right? This here is going to stimulate the clitoris.
Does it vibrate him too?
It vibrates him too. So he feels even more excited having this on. Yeah,
I'm buying one real quick.
We're all buying one. We're all buying one. So he himself, he's going to feel the vibration from the penis ring, and so is the partner. And these can come with remotes. I don't think I have it on a set. Oh, yeah. Because you can't be changing the settings when you're in the act like, let's stop and change it. No, but you got a remote. Okay. We can go more. We can go deeper.
Let me write mine down.
So as the penis penetrates the vagina, it's going to stimulate the clitoris. So if you want to start with a sex toy that maybe both of you can enjoy, this is one, a penis ring. That might not be intimidating.
Are men welcoming when it comes to sex toys?
I feel like they're not, because I feel like they're intimidated, especially dildos. They sell like 9-10 inch dildos online. If my man is in 9 or 10 inches, he might feel uncomfortable. But if he is, he might feel, okay, cool. But then am I being replaced? I feel like they feel intimidated, like they're being replaced. But let's enjoy this together. This is going to vibrate both of us. You might enjoy this.
One of this.
Yeah, I think everyone should get one of these. We're gonna give these away.
Hey, don't do that. So my team's budget is not cut out for all of that. Nobody should call me. I'm not giving nothing away. Well, maybe I'll give it to 2 people for Christmas. Ooh. Yes. How about this? 2 people. 2 people. Yeah. I'll announce it at the end. Don't worry. I'll give it to 2 people.
We love it.
2. I'll personally buy it out of my pocket. I mean, my boss's pocket. 2 people. Yep. I'll do that for Christmas. Just to be nice.
Then let me know how.
2 people.
Shoot me a DM of your sex experience after incorporating a sex toy.
I'll give it to 2 people. I'll purchase it for 2 people.
The other thing is, this is another sex toy. Now, this one has a little handle, and this will vibrate, and you can control the intensity as well. But this one will reach the back of the vagina to stimulate that clitoris. So this one can be self-pleasurable. Okay. Or we can do it together. So say, we've had sex and babe, he orgasmed or, in like 5-6 minutes, but I'm still not done. And maybe the erection isn't coming. I can't wait 15 minutes because, at that point, I might as well go do what I was going to do. So I'm going to stay there. Let's get out this sex toy. It doesn't necessarily look like penis, but it's curved so it can reach my clitoris in the back.
And then he will use it up.
Yeah.
Most men will not want to do that though.
But you know what? You know what I've also done? Okay, you don't want to use it? Oh, you're intimidated by it? Let me do this. Let me turn it on. Oh, no, I can't even get it on. Let me turn it back on and then see how it feels on your body. Huh. I've also let him try it out first.
Okay. You let him.
You feel. And then once and not even necessarily I'm not saying we're going to penetrate their anus with this, but I'm saying you're just going to get close because remember, men are really sensitive by their testicles.
You can put on their nipple.
Put this right, put on their nipple, but I might just go all the way down and put it right by their testicles. And that sensation, they're like, okay, this feels good. Yeah, that's what it feels like for me.
Listen, it will feel good because.
So we can both enjoy this. This doesn't even have to be just for me. You can be given oral sex and then using this at the same time. There. There's a lot of things that you can do.
You're about to do a lot.
There's a lot.
Okay. So what about, I want to end with the sex toys real quick. What about the rose?
The rose? Oh, yeah, that's good. It's a lot of suction.
I've heard a lot about it. TikTok. I bought one.
Did you love it?
Should I tell you my sex toy story?
Tell me.
So I have bought 3. Okay. The first time I bought one, right? I was like, oh, nice. I think it was more like this one, the pink one.
Yeah.
And then I had this pastor friend of mine tell me it's from the devil. So I threw it away.
Okay. Yeah.
And then I bought another one with the rose. Okay. It was nice.
Was it stimulating or was it suction?
It was suction.
Yes.
It was really good. I was
the suction is intense.
And then I was told I'm having sex with the devil. Aww. So I had to throw it away. Aww. And then I recently bought one, the wand. I think it's called the wand. But it's amazing. Okay?
Yeah, I bet it is.
Amazing.
I bet it is.
But anyways, sorry, my parents are watching.
It's okay. We can get one for you too, parents.
They'll be okay because they know the child they have, please. My parents know. I'm the right person to have this conversation. Nobody will go into details, okay? But you said, so I want to end with, like you said, it's okay to invite bring sex toys in your relationship.
You have to have that communication with your partner. You can't just show up with a bunch of sex toys and be like, okay, you want to have sex? We got to include this.
Oh, yeah.
No, but you have to have that conversation. Like, for when I get a patient that comes to me and says, I think I have a sexual dysfunction. I can't have orgasms. I said, okay, well, I can't help you have those orgasms. So what I'm going to tell you to do is, no, not even your partner. Buy a toy. And usually I say start with the suction or the stimulator, the rose, the wand, the satisfy, whatever you want to start with. Start with that and focus on your clitoris.
Okay.
Once you've had an orgasm by yourself, it could be self-pleasurable, it could be with your partner. Then you experience, oh, this is what an orgasm feels like. Maybe I have gotten close to it when I was having penetrative sex with my partner, but I didn't know what it felt like. So do that so you understand, because it's hard for me to say, it's an outer release. It's this excitatory period in your brain. It's so easier said, but you have to experience yourself. So get that suction on the clitoris, stimulate it, and usually I feel like a toy within a few, no more than 10 minutes.
Can you get addicted?
I think you can.
Okay.
Like anything, you can get addicted to food.
Okay.
You can get addicted to going to the gym. Get addicted to alcohol. Too much of anything is bad, right? So it is possible that you bring this into your relationship, your marriage, and you feel like, well, we don't really have to have sex together anymore because this is actually giving me an orgasm.
I think that's what I was scared of when it came to buying a sex toy. I didn't want to.
You don't want to substitute your partner. Yeah, you love your partner. You want to experience that intimate relationship. You want to bond with them. You want to love on them. But you can also be inclusive of sex toys and explore different sex positions and different ways to have pleasured sex and not just sex.
It's about to go down. But anyway, I want us to talk about oral sex, but we'll do that next weekend. Next week. Sorry, not next weekend. I'm already next weekend. We're going to do that next week. Just stay right here. We'll be back with part 2 with Miss Lisa. Bye-bye.